Hey guys, it's me Timmy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today watching the season finale of PitBabe season 2. Yup, time to wrap things up. Only goal for this fucking final episode is that Tony dies. He did die in season 1, but he came back alive, and we knew that that's his ability. He can come back alive now. Really, so like, guys, make sure you take the knife, cut his head off, burn him. Throw his ashes into the sea so he can never come back. Okay? Make sure you do it thoroughly this time. That's all I wish for. And also Kim and Kenta. Okay? I literally am staying for the show because of Kim and Kenta, so I really hope that we get that finally get that fucking kiss scene that we've been waiting for forever. And it's gonna... I just hope they have a happy ending. That's all I wish for. So without further ado, let's watch the final episode of PitBabe season 2. Ew! What the fuck? Stop it.
ยินดีต้อนรับกลับบ้านไอ้ลูกชายฉันคิดถึงแกนะ
This entire fucking season, this man had been trying to kill him, destroy him. He's like, welcome back, my son, I missed you. Shut the fuck up.
ปล่อยพี่อลันไปดีแล้วเคนเต่าไปแล้วกูกับชาลีจะยอมอยู่ที่นี่
You're all here. Go, go. Why is there so much hesitation with all these people? Stop hesitating. Your life is on the fucking line.
น่าจะทันนะงั้นพวกเราแยกกันหาโอเคปะโอเค
Go find your mans. Kim, go save Kenta.
งั้นเดี๋ยวผมจะตามหาลุงก่อนนะครับงั้นผมจะไปหาเบฟคุณระวังตัวด้วย
Also, I'm gonna be angry again. Okay, there's a lot of frustrating moments coming on when they're fighting here. Like, none of you guys decided to get some guns, some bulletproof vests, or anything. I know you guys are alphas and have superpowers, but like, a bulletproof vest and some guns or weapons would have been helpful in this situation here. You just walked in here nonchalantly without any kind of like weapons on you guys. I guess like maybe they had like a pistol or something like hidden behind their backs, but like still, you guys are here for battle. Okay.
นี่คุณเป็นอะไรหรือเปล่าวันหลังไม่เอาแบบนี้แล้วนะคุณมันอันตรายผมบอกแล้วว่าผมคนเดียวเนี่ยเอาอยู่คุณต่างหากวันหลังอย่าเอาตัวเองมาเสี่ยงแบบนี้รู้ไหม
That's so cute. Oh, finally! The only one who cared about him was you. Kenta, did you understand? He's the one who thought about you. Yes! Fuck yes, he kissed them back! Oh my god. They better get a happily ever after, or I'm gonna riot.
แล้วนี่ลุงจะไปฉีดยาใส่ทักษะตัวสมบูรณ์หรือเปล่าครับฉันควรไปไหมยาใส่ทักษะอาจจะมีประโยชน์กับแอลฟาไปใส่คนอื่นแต่สำหรับลุงเก็บพลังไว้เถอะผมไม่อยากให้ร่างกายลุงแย่ไปกว่านี้ แล้ว
I like this conversation.
ชาลีจะมอง
He asked him like, are you gonna get this shot? And I think this difference is like, you know, getting rid of the power. It's like Tony forced people to have powers or do things and control them in many ways, but them developing this kind of medication, this shot, is a choice that the people who want it can have. It's not they're forcing everybody to get rid of their powers. It's that if the powers that you have is a burden to you, just like how Jeff's powers was a burden to him. He was not able to develop relationships, either platonic or romantic, or just felt so stuck in his world because he saw everything that was supposed to happen in the future and all that kind of stuff. He saw like deaths and just horrible things that kind of affected the way he was living. So this was an ability that he wants to get rid of so he can live a normal life. And then I think for Charlie as well, many ways too, because his powers were something unique as well. He's always taking other people's powers and all that kind of stuff and affected him, and he got taken advantage of and all that kind of stuff. But like maybe in many ways like Babe's powers or even Pete's powers and now Alan's powers, like if you're you know, there's still a chance of you getting taken advantage of, just like how Tony did with all these people. But like, if you're able to, if you want to keep them, it's their choice to keep them. And I like how like they're talking about this, like, if you want to, you can.
ว่าฉันแย่ไหมอะทุกคนจะมองว่าฉันเห็นแก่ตัวหรือเปล่าถ้าจะมีใครสักคนที่เห็นแก่ตัวก็คงเป็นผมแหละที่อยากให้ลุงแข็งแรงแล้วก็อยู่กับผมตลอดไป
Wait. Why the fuck is Tony there? I saw, okay, earlier today I was looking into Tutors, and there's a photo of like them, like all the cast together, and people were like, this wasn't like, it doesn't make any sense that like all these people were at his wedding. Like, what? Like, Tony's supposed to be dead, and also like, why would you invite Winter? Okay, so that's my reaction to the final episode. In many ways, I feel like it's the series finale of PitBabe, and I have a lot of nitpicky things I have to say. I honestly did not like the ending. I did not. I think that this series has a lot of potentials and a lot of things, and I think like for me, every episode I watch, I get excited when I'm in the episode, but once I'm done with the episode, I don't really think about it anymore. It's not a series that I really think about. Like some other series that you just like continue talking about, and like I would, you know, many ways rewatch it, but I didn't have the urge to rewatch this series at all. And it's kind of sad because season 1 was so good to me, and I really enjoyed season 1. I thought it was like something different and it was unique, and like, you know, in many ways they kind of have that little bit of that ABO aspect as into that as well. Obviously, you know, it's not comparable to what we have with Desire now with the ABO element to that. So in many ways, because of they didn't want that ABO and like kind of Omegaverse storyline to be continued for this, I didn't really kind of consider this as an ABO series anymore. So I just kind of watched it as just a regular BL with just like terms like alphas and so. And then like anyway, in many ways, in that too, in season 1, we didn't got much of the Omega or Betas anymore. It's just like they're alphas with powers. They're just enhanced human beings, pretty much, in my opinions. So yeah. So like I don't really cared as much as that for those titles anymore in season 2. But in addition to that, like, it just didn't feel as cohesive and connected as I thought it was gonna be compared to season 1. And there's a lot of flaws within these episodes, kind of storyline telling. But like, back to the ending, I didn't really like this ending. Like, many ways they've been promoting this kind of wedding scene as kind of their final like thing, and they're like, you know, they're doing a screening for the final episode, and they use kind of the wedding photos as the promotional stuff. So I was kind of many ways excited for the wedding scenes, but now watching this, it does not feel like they put the effort into making that a moment, an ending to the series, because like a lot of the scenes were more of like of the actors and not their characters, you know. You would have like the whole I think the producers and the director all in the scene too, which like we're ending a series, not a relationship with your actors. Like, it does not really make sense in that. Like, it turns you off on the ending. Like, wait, why is Tony here? Why is Winter here? It does not make any sense for them to be at their wedding. 1, Tony is dead. 2, Winter is not your guys' friend. And Willie, okay, we can debate about Willie and why he's there. He can, he saved their lives. He's invited to the wedding, kind of deal. Like, it makes sense. But like, the other people, really, just like, you guys, it's that quote, the tweet that I read when talking about Tony and Winter being there is like, this felt more like a photo shoot and a photo shoot opportunity for all these actors to promote and just have a photo shoot and not really filming an ending to a series. And we're like, oh, that makes sense, and I can see what they meant now. And it's like, oh, I would have loved it where if they just ended where Charlie remembered his memory, maybe like a this is a little too like, what's it called, Fast and Furious, but like maybe a family like gathering or like a barbecue in like maybe Alan's backyard, and it's like just celebrating Charlie remembering everybody being happy and alive, and, you know, it would have been better than what we saw here. Like, yes, the wedding scene was beautiful. Maybe, like, even, like, have, like, wedding scene, but, like, don't just, like, you could have a moment where maybe, like, after the credits, and we can have, like, everybody, like, clapping and everything, no, celebrating the ending of the series, but, like, not what we saw. You know, it just doesn't make any sense, and it bothers me so much. Like, it's such a small thing that people can overlook easily, but still, like, this is the final scene to your 2-season series, and you broke continuity. That, yeah. And, like, other stuff, I do really enjoy kind of the elements of Tony's character, as well as just, like, kind of his drive of, like, he has this kind of, I'm talking about the whole series now, this drive and this, like, want to be in power, in control, and both seasons he's been trying that, you know. Season 1, he's done it with controlling these young alphas, adopting these orphans to train them and sell them, and then this one, he's just taking people who are more susceptible to these, like, ask and stuff like that, and he takes these poor humans and transform them into super beings and sell them. Same thing with, like, similar to the he did with the orphans and all that kind of stuff. So it's just, like, you know, his characters stay the same, and there was many ways to develop his character. Also, the whole, like, from episode 1, the question we had is, how did he come back alive? He was shot, we saw him die. How is he back alive? And the questions continue to be, like, same question the entire season. And then, like, last episode 12, we finally figured out he has the ability to come back alive. He has powers himself. It's, for me, I feel like it was, like, satisfying to find out, like, oh my god, like, our theories, our thoughts were true or wrong if you didn't really think that he had that ability, like, he had some kind of, like, special power, I don't know. But, like, I thought getting that answer was so relieving and so fun to watch. And I think Tony's character in many ways is fleshed out in that sense, but there's also a lot of things that does not really make sense, because, like, the way he kind of was dealing with Babe and Charlie throughout the entire series just does not make sense for him to just want them alive and want them to, like, just kind of, like, come back to him. Like, there's definitely different ways to do that, and, like, I don't know, it's not really fully, like, smooth out, I think. And then Alan's character was the most frustrating part, because, like, you know, I feel like they wanted to give Alan more of a stronger role in this series, in this season, so they made him kind of do that. But it does not really make sense for Alan as a character, I think, in many ways, to do it. Like, I think, like, yes, he's more susceptible to these kind of, like, temptations because he was in such a negative space, and, like, he was struggling with his health as well as losing people that he loves. It's just the Dean, I think the Dean part really bothers me, where, like, Dean was a character that, like, was on the other side for season 1, and season 2 he kind of came back a little bit, and, you know, it just does not make sense. I think if they developed Dean's character a little bit more and kind of build that relationship and bond between all of them, they kind of try to do that, but it was not enough for me to care about him. You know, literally episode 1, he got shot, we thought he died, and I was like, what? He showed up, like, it's more of, like, I'm mad that the actor is not going to be in the series kind of thing, not the character. Like, I don't really give a fuck about Dean, but, like, the actor, I do care about. But, like, and, like, if he was gone, I don't think, let's say Dean did die in episode 1, he doesn't come back, I don't think I would have cared if I don't see him anymore, if it's just Dean, you know? But, because it was Lee, obviously. We love Lee. But I don't think there were much difference if Dean didn't survive when he got shot, you know? And it also, kind of many ways, they build up Dean, Winter, and Kenta, like, being kidnapped and, like, being used by Tony. Felt like he didn't really go anywhere either. Like, Winter just stuck around because he's a loser. That's funny. But I thought there was more in Dean's character. Like, even, like, for Tony, I thought you spent took an effort of getting them out of jail, and you just let Dean go. Like, Kenta found his way back, but, like, he kind of, like, came back because he was trying to solve things, and it's like, I thought there was going to be more for them, because you literally brought them back to your lab. I thought you had a plan for them, but there wasn't. That's another part, like, how Tony's plan was not fully fleshed out as his character, you know? And I just didn't like that Dean was the reason why all of this like happened. You know, it's not. I don't think it's only Dean. I think it's more like Alan wants to save and protect all the people he loves. I think giving the kind of in many ways I keep trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but just like it's poorly executed. Like the writers, like if you're looking at it in a more like outside perspective, like the writers really try to do something. Like I can see the effort there. It was so close, but yet so far away from what you really wanted to do, and it's like it's like mad. And I know that from the people that I've talked to about the novel, like it's this series is kind of very, very far from what the novel was. There's a lot of different things that they've changed and all that kind of stuff. So I've never read the novel. I don't think I will because it's so different. But like maybe I will. I don't know. I have other books to read. I'm currently reading Chemtira, but yeah, it's just like it's the script wasn't fully fleshed out. You know, it wasn't. You know what this kind of reminds me of? The Captain America Winter Soldier series on Marvel is like, if you like the actors, you can sit down and enjoy it. But if you don't know who the fucking actors are and you watch this and you're like, what did I watch? What did I fucking watch? You know, that's how I feel. It's like, the reason why I continue watching and I enjoy it is because of the actors, you know? And in many ways, Kim and Kenta. I've been waiting. I thought we were gonna Kim and Kenta together, but like, we didn't do that. I forgot to add this, and I don't know if I said this when I first watched episode 1, but I'm a person who don't think a lot of shows need season 2, and there's a clear reason why a lot of shows don't need a season 2. I think one of the shows that are even like I kind of liked with the season 2 was Sodas and Sodas S, and even I still like Sodas more than Sodas S. I don't think there's a show where I love season 2 more. Even like Tarn Type 1 was so much better than Tarn Type 2. I was thinking other shows like what other shows have season 2? Together it's kind of it's smaller. Cutie Pie does Cutie Pie have season 2, or is that more of a special? I think it's a special spinoff, but yeah. I don't think series need a season 2 because like a lot of the time these shows wrap up a pretty good story, and when you put season 2, you really have to put up that like a lot of times season 2 is because the show was doing so well. So if you're already putting a show on a really high pedestal, a lot of us are going to come in with more critiques and more like with a more like narrow eye, I guess, in how their things are produced and made. And this is another clear example on why, because PitBabe season 1 was so good already, season 2 needed to be even better for us to like it even more, and it was not better. Was it equal? I don't think so either. I think there was so much stuff that gone on behind the scenes with the author as well as the story writing. I'm assuming, not really sure about it, do not quote me on that, but really affected the way the story was telling, where like they were picking pieces that they thought was good and putting it together, but did not write a cohesive story. So yeah, I don't know where I'm exactly going to put this in, but this is filmed after everything. But yes, I'm a person who don't think series need season 2s. Yeah. Positives. Let's end it on with a positive note, guys. Okay, positive to the series: chemistry between the actor, phenomenal. Just kind of the love that they have, all the actors and also all the characters, the love that they have for this kind of family feel. You know, just like I keep bringing up Fast and Furious because it has a lot. It's racing, it's family, same thing. The love of each other for each individual pairing, how much they love for each other, but at the same time, love for their friends and their family. You know, they're all willing to risk it for each other, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to take down Tony, who has ruined their lives, who has destroyed so much of their lives, and in many ways took their freedoms for so long. Because all of these, from Pete, from Kenta, Kim, Babe, Charlie, and Chris, all these people were like, their lives were ruined because of Tony. Chris, you know, he was abandoned. He was an orphan because of Tony and his selfishness. The other few that I listed, these people were also orphans, thought that they were able to have a second chance with a loving family, but turns out he used them as slaves and sold them because they have powers and all that kind of stuff. And coming back now, they kind of like, after it ended season 1, they're like, we can finally be free. We can finally live the way we want to live without Tony's control. And then Tony's back. And then like them just having to fight again and having to you know, rely on each other and solve these things and all that kind of stuff. And then the whole idea of like getting rid of these powers because they hurt so much of us, and the constant fighting and the constant like needing to kind of risk their own lives to achieve and allow people, not just these few but many people around the world, freedom of this power. And I think though this final episode did not really fully round out, like I would have loved to see a scene where Chris finally accomplished the drug and we put it into Charlie, put it into Pete, we put it into somebody who wants to get rid of their powers, like, and see that, like, I mean, like, we started this entire series with getting rid of these powers and we did not see a full ending. I really enjoyed the whole conversation Jeff and Alan had with like, is like, should I take the power removing drug or should I not, like all that kind of stuff. I really love the conversation because it's a choice that you can choose to make, but like I also want to see that actually coming to fruition because it's what we've been working on for so long. You know, I would have seen that instead of they just gave us a weird closure with Chris and with Pete, which I also really love Chris and Pete's closure because it's like we can tell like one of my struggles with Pete as a character was that he's in love with Wei. Chris looks like Wei, and did he fall in love with Chris? I think he is getting there, but Wei is still such a big part of him. He's loved Wei for so long, and watching him die and all that kind of stuff really kind of impacted him. So like Chris and his relationship, I think, like, you know, maybe he needs to spend some time apart together to realize if he really truly loves Chris and all that kind of stuff. And we kind of have that kind of in the ending. Not really. I feel like it just felt more of like a thing where like, okay, you see these two. It's like for me, I saw it as passing the throne. You know, PitBabe is ending. You know, Pavel and Pooh is kind of passing the torch to Nut and Ping because they're gonna be the leads for the next series. Kind of that's what I felt more than like kind of anything with Chris and Wei. And also like it just felt like the scenes they weren't acting. I just feel like the actors themselves and they're not playing their characters a little bit too. So yeah. Final part is I want to give I think my favorite character in this entire, there's two actually. One, my favorite character is Kim, and that's because he was determined. He's a determined man. He finally got the determination. You know, ending was not exactly what I wished for, but he was there and he was determined for it, and I love that. He found Kent. He wanted to save Kenta. He's found and saved Kenta. Mission accomplished. But my favorite, I think, out of all I have accomplished is Nut. I think he's a phenomenal actor. I've seen him since Oxygen. I fell in love with him since Oxygen, and him in this series was really, really interesting because he has the hard task of playing a character that looks like his other character. You know, that's already hard, playing a different version of kind of of that character. And make us keep questioning, are you a clone? Are you a twin? Or what are you? Like, we don't know what he is. He's really good. I complimented him so many times when he's hearing information about Wei and that kind of like suspicious feeling and look on his face. I think he does such a great job doing that, and it's like, oh, and like I think it's hard. I think when an actor have to look suspicious at the same time, but like also produce a different demeanor as well too. I think for Wei to differentiate what Wei and Chris is, and I think he does such a great job doing that, and I love that. I just love his facial expression when he was so like when he was like listening and gathering information to figure out who Wei was and where their connection is, and kind of like, you know, he has to be on edge a little bit this entire series because like I don't first personally think that he was able to fully trust any of these people until more towards the end of the series, and that's really valid because he is a character who was abandoned and he's realizing, oh, Tony is my dad and I have a brother who's dead and all these horrible things he probably heard, and gathering more and more information and kind of the horrible things that Tony has done with when he's like in this kind of world now, and just like I think they did such a great job, his facial expression and just kind of his determination in like that facial expression of determination of like I need to figure things out kind of thing, and like at the end solving things and in many ways facing face to face with Tony. And I don't want to end it sadly, but like I would have loved to see a little bit more Tony and Chris having a conversation, but we didn't get that. He did the way he just commented, like, oh, you're my useless son. Like, oh, sir, okay, you know what? You're already horrible. That kind of thing. Like, I wish there's a little bit more to that. Give him a little bit more moment there, but that's it. But yeah. Pool and Pavel, they're currently filming their new series. Very excited for that. I feel like that's going to be a lot better than what we saw in this series. Definitely, finger crossed. We'll be. I don't think I'll be reacting to My Most Beautiful Cat because change is a pain in the ass, and they don't let me post reactions on YouTube. I have to do it on Patreon exclusive. And I have like 3 Patreon exclusive videos right now, and I was like, I can't, to balance things out. I think what I'm do is I'm gonna save that series and not watch it, and then maybe in September when more of the shows that are Patreon exclusive ends, I will move to that series instead. I think that's what I'm gonna do, just save it. But yeah, that's it for my reaction. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on my social media link down below. See you next time. Bye.